I need to write something up. People are going crazy, coming into their meetings naked, their pants down. We can't give these virtual promotions to people who have lost their goo goo gagas, their marbles all over the place.
Listen, buddy,
Yeah.
you're qualified, but you've clearly lost your goo goo gagas over there.
What are we talking about, man? I just came out. I'm at work. I'm wearing my professional joggers right now. And I'm the CEO of my own room, so you can't tell me anything.
Okay, you're right. You get the position.
Babe, use the Grubhub to get the tacos. We're celebrating tonight.
Is that how this guy celebrates with Grubhub tacos? Babe, crack out that Grubhub because we're getting tacos. Now there's a guy who knows how to celebrate.
Tacos and tequila. All right. Relax, man. Relax. Oh, God. Oh.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Here we go.
I can hear you loud and clear, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am. Listen.
No stress at all.
I know.
Woo!
Doggy.
Woo, doggy.
Woo, doggy.
So I'm in my van as we speak.
Oh
Hello.
Yeah. The van.
Hello. Let's see if I can get it set up here. I got the
Nice.
whole setup here. So it's
Ooh.
nice to meet you. I only know you right now as DrElemayo, which I just to myself said aloud for the first time and figured out what it was supposed to be.
It's probably the most undercover joke I've ever written. But yes, my name is Steven Spencer. Quick rundown: film student in Boston, trying to get there. I found your stuff, and you're also film student, Massachusetts, masshole,
Yeah.
same kin.
That's the truth.
Reached out because I found your stuff. And at first it was my friend Connor. He always likes to show me all the new fun AI type stuff, anything that helps with workflow and the such. He sent me a link to Absinthe and started trying to look up things. So I was like, oh yeah, this thing seems really, really interesting, really cool. Found your stuff and I was like, all right, this is the kind of thing that I would make with it. This is exactly what I envisioned when I saw all the test footage. So I sort of over the semester made my way there to making something, and got to you on Patreon, got to Matthew McCleskey. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Now here we are.
Yeah, here we are. I really loved your I don't know if you've done a second one since, but I loved your movie theater absinthe animation. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, haven't done another one. However, I am planning on it, and I don't know if you saw on my channel, I had this intro to this pilot I want to make, but I want to make the whole thing in that same style.
I think I missed it. I'm sorry.
Last
thing I saw was peeing your pants. How to pee
Monkeys.
your pants or what?
The monkeys.
Oh, I saw the monkeys as
Yeah.
well. That was great. That cracked me up. That was really good.
The guy who I made it with, my friend Corey Shaman Goompaloo, he was pretty stoked when he saw the comment. He was like, Joel saw me screaming like a monkey. I couldn't be happier.
Well, I've screamed like a monkey several times on my channel, so it works out.
I scream like a monkey several times a week. It's kind of just my laugh.
So is this the Are we going? Are we?
Yeah,
recording?
yeah. It's
all right. Great,
so when
perfect.
I was recording beforehand, sort of trying to capture my my smooth jazz, deep breathing exercise. So it's
well, it
still
seemed
going.
to work. You're glowing now.
That might be the two LEDs I have to my side, but
oh, okay. That'll do it.
When I did reach out, it was sort of in this mass sort of, okay, I feel like I want to be on a certain level, and I know there's something I want to attain, so I'm going to reach out to the people who have some semblance of that or have that. So you amongst other people. I mean, you were first because I was like, you know, what's the, I dove, I have divin.
Yeah. I think dove. The divin is cool.
I've divin deep into your content, so I was like, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting conversation. As we sort of rescheduled and got closer, I was like, no, and I have more questions I want to ask about what like your process and everything. So I also have some questions from buddies, pals, comrades, and other of the such who know I'm doing it. So,
is this going to be released as a podcast or?
You know, I thought about it, then I realized it didn't have a podcast. So
hey,
if I had to title it, and if I had to make a series out of this, it would be a podcast called "Never Meet Your Heroes," and then whatever ensues when you do. Icebreaker, if you want. 2 truths and a lie. I don't know how awkward I am right now. I'm not usually this awkward. This is
no. It's great. So,
yeah.
Do you want me to do 2 truths and a lie, or are you gonna do it?
Please, you first.
All right, here we go. I'm currently driving my van to Alaska. This is so hard to come up with. Just anything. All right, I was born in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm.
And I am 6 feet tall. Wait, not that one. And I eat my rice with ketchup.
Don't eat your rice with ketchup, you weirdo. You don't do that. You know,
no, I do.
My apologies, you weirdo. So
yeah, it's not something I'm proud of, but it's the truth.
Gordon Ramsay would be shaking his head right now.
That's why I don't talk to him.
There's ketchup on pizza, but then there's ketchup on rice.
I've never heard of
do you
ketchup
cook
on
it?
Pizza.
Do you cook it?
Yeah, like white rice, like cooked rice. I know. You put the ketchup on after it's cooked.
Yeah,
it tastes good. It tastes good. Any kind, just white rice, like fried rice, it's all good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Just like by accident? Like you had like a chicken finger next to rice and you just,
that must have been it. I must have been eating like Chinese and I had one of those chicken fingers with ketchup and then I tried the rice. I don't know. I've been doing it forever.
I don't think you're on your way to Alaska. That's a long drive.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on my way to Alaska.
Okay.
That would be a long drive.
I mean, you could be on your way to Alaska with multiple stops in between, you know.
Yeah.
So what was the other one again?
Now I don't remember.
6 foot one? You're 6 feet.
I took that back because I realized I did 2 lies. I realized, oh shit, I was supposed to be 2 truths and a lie, and I did 2 lies. The other one it's in recording, and it was a truth, so there's some... Born in Canada. Born in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. So I would be allowed back there, so that's nice, if I was going to Alaska.
That is true, yeah. Okay, me, well, you would have thought that since I'm the instigator, I would have them prepared.
It's a hard game to come up with on the spot because it's like you just take your whole life and you try to find.
You boil it down to 2 truths and 1 lie. Okay. I play the kazoo on a self-proclaimed professional level. I mastered the triangle. I don't know why I'm stuck on band stuff, but I mastered the triangle in band. And had a triangle solo, and I don't know. I farted in a museum during a quiet time. while everyone
what museum?
I farted in the MFA while everyone was silently drawing Buddha.
Oh wow. Okay.
In a very
that's very
room.
Specific. I think one of the instrument-based ones is a lie, and it just comes down to self-proclaimed. You know, you could just say that, and that could be true. The triangle one, you actually would have had to perform at a concert. It's a little more involved. So I don't know if I'm leaning towards the triangle one being fake because it's more of an accomplishment. All right. I'm going to say the kazoo one is a lie. Oh, man. Well, let's hear the mastery.
Oh, gee, well, who would have thought I would have the opportunity to showcase my talent like this?
That's really good. I didn't know how much range you could get out of a kazoo.
Taste. Well, it's the entire range of your voice.
Oh, because it uses. That's brilliant.
I've done whole like covers with multiple layers and arrangement.
So it must have been the triangle one, right?
Triangle, I never got it. I thought I was gonna be able to do a triangle solo with the Suite of the Dinosaurs or whatever it's called in band, but no, I got to hit a gong really hard.
Yeah,
so
that's just a big triangle though, so it almost counts.
A big full circular triangle. Yeah.
What year are you in film school?
I'm about to enter my final, which should be my final year. Yeah.
Should be.
Which should be my final year. Well, I started off at this program at Northeastern. I did a year there, and then they helped me transfer to Mass Art. When I transferred over, I had all the credits, but they started me off with all the other freshmen, so to do their foundation year program. So I kind of kicked it into high gear my second semester.
Is that when you drew Buddha?
Yeah.
And farted?
Yeah, when I drew Buddha and farted in the MFA in a room
was
about,
it like
about
a loud
the size of my
fart?
room. It was so jeez. So I was trying to, cuz it was going to happen whether I wanted it to or not. So I needed to sort of go incognito with it and let it be silent. Boy, what a story this is to tell. And
did it work out?
No, it didn't work out because I was like kneeling, so I was like, I have to like change my position in order to. It didn't work, and there was a there was a little.
Was there some reverb?
There was a lot of metal in there, so there was. It did echo like a very tiny bit because of what was in the room and the size of the room, and there was a girl that I liked at the time who was sitting right next to me, and I sort of quickly looked over at her, and she just looked up and.
Oh no!
And then I asked her for a pencil to try and cover. Nah, it didn't work. No.
She's like, I don't give pencils to farters.
The performance was poor on that. If it were the Olympics, I would have gotten a 2 because there was an attempt but a failure. Yeah, no good. Now that I got a chance to laugh and be candid, feel great. I'm not like an interviewer, and this is like multiple things stacked on top of each other. So it's
okay. Yeah. I'm here for it.
Okay. I have some questions that I'll ask, and then I'll ask my questions from other people that I'll ask, and then I'll ask my questions.
All
so right. A lot of it is awkward and weird humor, your stuff, but occasionally a little sentimentality enters your work. What goes into deciding one or the other, and do you even decide?
I don't think I ever have a moment that I'm like, this is going to be fully just weird and awkward, or this is going to have some realness to it. I think those things emerge pretty naturally, but I definitely do like the videos and the longer films that touch upon something real. And when I can hit that, I find like those are some of my favorite things I've made. Because I don't think I always lose the humor, which is nice, because I still love the humor, but giving it that extra layer of humanity is something I like doing. And it's really just case by case, you know, because everything I do is so on the fly, made up kind of as we go. So it's just like, are we feeling stupid and goofy that day? Am I feeling existential or some...
Yeah.
I wish I had more of an answer, like how one is created over the other, but it's really just depends on the day and the idea.
Yeah. Oh, I want you to know too. When I'm looking this way, I'm actually I'm looking at my screen because I have this big monitor and the webcam's to the side. So I don't know if it looked like I was sort of like out of touch. But,
you were avoiding eye contact.
Oh, earlier I'll let you know. Or I was I was like, oh shoot, I'm not even looking at him. I just sort of here.
No.
But yeah,
it's okay. Yeah.
What is your creative process behind an average non-animated video? This is kind of the same question almost. Yeah.
So it's interesting because my work depends so much on who I'm with. And when I was living home, it was a lot of just me and my friend Trent. And our process would just be, more times than not, we would just meet up and say, let's film something today. And we'd have the camera, we'd have the, the microphones. And sometimes we'd just be clipping them on and we'd be like, okay, while we're getting this ready, we got to think of something because we're ready to film. So like the Ice Guys, that History Channel one we did, that was literally like, okay, let's meet at this frozen pond and find something to film there. And after walking around for 30 minutes, something came up. And it's really like not more complicated than that. And I think that's why I'm able to create so much, is that I've gotten rid of all those like barriers to entry. Like I gotta have a great idea, then I gotta write it, and then I gotta get the people together. Instead, I'm just like, as a kid when you like made videos with your friends, you're just like, we have a camera, now let's come up with something. And I think that's a skill that could be trained the same as writing, the same as any other step in the process you're taught you're supposed to do. And I try to keep that very loose improv energy throughout all my stuff, even the animated ones, with a very few exceptions.
Yeah. That kind of brings up like two questions that stem from that, if I could remember them, because I came up with them while you were talking. The first one is one that I wrote down earlier, and it's what's your like editing process for stuff like that? Because like I found that I really like doing that, you know. Like I have some stuff that I want to work on that's scripted, and I'm feel really great about, but like disproportionately more, I come up with stuff that's just like on the fly, and it's great, and I'm like, all right, I want to turn this into a thing. I want to make it a thing. I'm gonna edit it and put it together and make it nice. But even with the last thing that I uploaded on my channel, I was sort of thinking like, man, so this edit that I have here, I really like it. I like everything in it, but I get kind of sucked into looking at like the view retention and having that as a sort of meter as like how good something I made is. So I had some people like look over it. I'm like, okay, where would you stop watching it? What should I cut out? And sort of just being like, I should cut my what's the phrase? Not cut your losses. Kill your
babies. Kill your babies. Or
yeah,
something?
kill your yeah something like that. So yeah, how do you decide what to take out and what to keep?
I think I've been in a similar place as you, where like I was always like looking at the whole film into bits and pieces. You're like, okay, every bit is good. I like every moment, so I keep every moment. And this wasn't such a technical thing. It wasn't like I'm going to consciously start doing this. But there was a time where I'm like, it's okay to cut something that's funny on its own if it makes the whole video or the whole film better paced and like flow better. And, you know, because I have a lot of lines, improvised lines and stuff that I love that I wind up cutting now just because it's like, you don't want to hit too many similar beats, so you don't need to hit so many beats for the joke to work. And
yeah,
I guess it's a rhythm you like establish over time the more you make. And I think, I don't know what caused me to change, because I was so unconcerned with like the view retention that like for those like years where I wasn't getting any views as well, I was just like, I'm just gonna make stuff because clearly nothing's taking off, so just keep making stuff. You know, I don't know.
yeah,
I think it's a natural rhythm is the best answer I could give. It's something you just train like anything else.
yeah. I sort of got into like a headspace when I was editing that, and then I think like somewhere like halfway through the video, I was just like, nah, I'm gonna keep it all. And then like I forget when I posted it, but I look at it this morning and it's like and then it drops, you know. So I'm like, that was when I stopped. That was when I stopped sort of thinking of like when things start getting a little slower. Even though I like the whole thing and I can sit through it, I sort of like have to take myself, put in someone else's shoes. But it was like, after a couple suggestions, like, all right, I kind of know what to do here, but I still want to end up with a version of it that's like, everything's here, like a director's cut, even though it's not good.
So I think a good point is like, rather than putting yourself in someone else's shoes, just picture like, it's hard to picture because it's you, but picture if you were watching the video, what you'd want to see. Because I think trusting your instincts is so much more important than catering to an audience. And because I really do believe we each have, like, all of our sense of humors have universal qualities. And like, no one has a sense of humor that is so specific to them that no one else would ever laugh at it the same, you know? So
Yeah.
There is a level where you do have to step back and be like, okay, if I was browsing YouTube and I found this video, would I find it funny all the way through? But I think it's important to keep the you in there. You know, it's important to still be like, because it's your piece, it's your thing. So if you start to picture someone else watching it, you're going to start to create something that someone else finds funny rather than yourself, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Connor has another question that I have here. What is your experience with imposter syndrome?
I think I've done a good job avoiding it because it took me so long to get to where I am. You know, I've had this channel for 10 years and it just recently took off November last year. And if I didn't work so hard and I didn't reach a point where I was confident with the stuff I was making, like if I just had a random video blow up like 4 years ago before I really had a lot of the skill I have today, I probably would have this feeling like, do I really deserve this? But there is a level that it is so big that I think there's an inherent imposter syndrome to it, because it's like, I thought I would like reach 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers and kind of plateau for a while, but it really did go from 3,000 to 1 million in a couple months. And I think there's a level where you can't even comprehend that amount of people, you know? So it's like impossible to think you deserve it because you can't even like visualize 1 million people.
Yeah, I sort of think of the numbers and just like at each milestone when you're just like looking at a channel, it's like you think like, Like someone with like 10 million subscribers, like that is the size, that's the population of New York. That's like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
it's very crazy to like, you could have a stadium filled with people, and where you at now, you would need multiple stadiums to fill up the amount of people that are subscribed to your channel.
Well, the thing that blew my mind is I recently thought about it. I'm like, wait, that's 1/8,000th of the world's population, which sounds like a pretty minute fraction, but talking about every human being allowed, like 1/8,000th, like that's like a big enough fraction that you're like, that's like noticeable, you know? That's like, so.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. There is this feeling of like, just like incomprehensible size that I don't think it's quite imposter syndrome. It's more just like not being able to really fully visualize that scale, I guess.
Yeah, I remember when I was in maybe the 3rd or 4th grade, and I read a book that like a baby's born every like 4 seconds. I'm like, that's a lot of people. And a couple years ago, when I would often spend time just watching like people who I like to watch. They'd have these like live subscriber charts or whatever. The count would just go up. You'll watch it, just to be like enamored by it, just watching it. And I'm like, they're getting subscribers faster than people are existing on the planet.
So they're like closing the ratio of people subscribed to them.
Eventually, every baby's gonna have a YouTube account with YouTube Kids, and they'll
born
be
with a YouTube account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
With a username that they can't change.
What do you want your kid's username to be? Yeah. It's on the birth certificates.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's tied to them for life.
So,
my
what's your history?
Username. My history?
What history on YouTube? Like, what's your? Is this your first channel, DrElemayo? Is that the one you've? Because I think we've all kind of been through a lot of channels. I had a lot as well.
Not by a long shot, sir. My goodness. So the first one I ever made, that was in 2012. Like as soon as I could make one, I was looking at the, like you have to be 13 or over to make a YouTube account. November 22nd, 2012. I'm just on the website. Even before then, I was copying like my favorite YouTubers at the time, like Toby Turner, Markiplier. Sort of, I don't know. I hadn't really found like me, like my voice yet. So, do you remember Google Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a vlog series on Google Plus that was just for people who were in my circle. So if anything, that was my first channel. My second one.
That was before you could go on YouTube?
That was before I was able to be on YouTube, and I literally had to have a Google account for school. So, yeah.
That's really funny.
So there was that. I had like this snowstorm vlog. I could still find it on like my Google Photos archive. It's so cringy. It's I'm like trying to make my voice like a little deeper. You can see I can tell who I'm copying when. Just being not myself. Just like, oh, I like this and this is popular and this person, so I should be like them. And so over the years, I sort of was like, all right, I need to be more my own self. But I started my first channel after I went to this summer camp. There are funny stories about that, but to be short, funded by Mark Wahlberg. So thanks, Marky Mark.
Wait, it was a YouTube summer camp?
No. Oh God, I wish there was something like that. Jeez. No, it was. It's through the Boys and Girls Club of Boston. I actually have a flag that if I can rotate my camera, don't mind the duck. That's from my cabin, and that has the Boys and Girls Club logo and the logo for the camp. It's in Maine. It's called Camp Micah, but when the club takes it over, I shouldn't have done that. Now I gotta. It's called Camp Northbound. So I did that. I did the talent show because I was getting into impressions after watching a bunch of YouTube again, and did that. And then my first YouTube video ever was I don't know remember what it was. I think it was like you couldn't have videos over 5 minutes, or it was something. It was weird. I didn't verify my account yet. I couldn't, so I had to have a short video, and I did impressions. They're cringe. It's unlisted. My second one was beating Bop It. Did that. I can say I did that before I die. And then it was just a bunch of gaming stuff. I beat Bop It. Yeah, I beat Bop It.
How do you beat Bop It?
You take 100 turns.
Oh, wow.
And then it gives you like this victory noise, and like you want to keep going, and then it starts, instead of saying Bop It, it goes psh. It just starts switching up with like sound effects.
Was it the one with like just 2 ends, or was it the one with 4?
Yeah, it was the new Bop It. We have to shout it. I came up with this hack, this little life hack, so I could like play it kind of in the quiet. Instead of shouting, I just blow into the microphone and it picks it up. So that's something.
Is that like when you were up late on a school night or something?
I was training for it, and then I finally did it. So I recorded it, and it was under 5 minutes. And I was like, yes. And then I started doing gaming videos that were horribly recorded, and shitty Minecraft, anything that was popular, Five Nights at Freddy's, and then it died. The channel died. I came up with a new name, did gaming there. I met a lot of people throughout the years with YouTube, and a lot of them are like, oh, like now they're big now, and and I'm like, I feel like left behind because I didn't have a computer. But that's just a sad excuse for not being resourceful. When I was 13.
So, and then you made this channel?
I had a channel in between the second one and this one, and that was one where I was like, all right, masked identity, you don't know who I am. Also, I'm cool and I do gaming. It was another gaming thing. And then I started experimenting with like different stuff. That's why I did the kazoo stuff. This channel that I have now sort of transformed, and I realized, wait, I can do whatever I want on one channel. I don't have to split it up. I don't need to like do a whole big old thing. I was playing VR chat one day. I really liked the avatar. It was like a laughing, crying with shades on emoji, and DrElemayo. Whoa, spell it out. Say it out loud.
Say it out loud.
Say it out loud. So that's me now. And now I'm trying to make good, cool things that make people laugh, because that's what I've been doing my whole life, and I want to put it in video form and maybe tell meaningful stories.
Well, one thing I like that you said is I hate the whole second channel YouTube thing. Like, I hate that. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, subscribe to my
other
documentary
channel,
my vlog channel, my
for this kind of content,
my animated channel.
Yeah,
I've had some fans like when I've in the past have vocalized like, hey, check out the other stuff other than the animations. I've had some fans like, why not just put the animations on their own channel? I'm like, that's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, like, give everything a chance, because it's all my stuff, you know? It's all part of who I am. But they're like, no, put it. I'm like, I grinded for years to make this channel work. Why would I start putting time into, like, another thing that then I have to, like, get off the ground? And
I'm pretty upset with all the channel jumping that I did, because I had things that, like, I could be like way past whatever number I'm at right now. What is it, 300? I could have at least 1,000 in just trying to grind for hours to be able to do things.
But there is a lot of your old subscribers probably have stopped using YouTube, or they got different accounts, so I don't know if it would have been good or bad. You know, you might have just seen less views per subscriber, right?
I know of a few people like on the internet who've just followed me throughout just the years. For some weird reason, they just, I don't know, it's like, I guess my personality rather than like whatever content I make. So that's nice. It's a handful. I could probably count them, but they've always known when I do something new. So that's, yeah, you're probably right. Probably right on that front. It's an evolution. Max asks, how do you stay motivated to stay working when you are just starting out that is something I've had to figure out. Oh wow, I really put myself through the shit. Wait, please.
Yeah, it's the best thing I ever did. I did it in 2015 as well, but it was committing to weekly releases. You know, I think like committing to some sort of thing, and I guess you need some sort of willpower to actually hold yourself to it. To me, it was just like if I didn't make something that week, I'd be disappointed in myself. And I just kept that going until it was like second nature to get something made that week. And I don't think there's like a one size fits all solution for everyone. I think like people's brains function like I'm like a workaholic in some sense where I'm like I'll just keep creating. There was weeks where I put out 3 or 4 videos like as I was like trying to like grind and get my way to some point. But I think the best motivation is just creating stuff you enjoy. Like, if you're creating content that you yourself would love to watch, like I always watch my own stuff, and some YouTubers I talk to say they don't, but I just watch it, not even in like a self-critical analyzing way. I'm just like enjoying whatever it is, and I think if you're creating stuff that you would actually watch, it's like a win-win, because even if you don't get many views right away, you have entertainment that you can be proud of. You're like creating something you wish was out there. I think that's like an important step a lot of people like glaze over. It's like, don't just create another vlog or another like gaming channel. Like, and I've had a gaming channel, I've had stuff like that. I think you don't just create another thing that already exists. Like, look and like what for you is missing. What for you is like, would you love to see more of, or would you love to see a new spin on, or and just be that thing. Yeah, totally. And sometimes it's as simple as just if you got a good personality, just be yourself, and do whatever comes to mind.
Yeah. That's really good advice. I've been trying to search for like the one thing to do, and then a couple months ago I was like, well, I'll need to do the one thing, but there's other things that I want to get good at. It's like a month and a half ago, you can see it on my channel, there's the 30-day track challenge.
I listened to some of those.
It was painful. It was very difficult to come up with something new and fresh every day. But now that I'm like finished with it and I can look back on it, I'm like, that was awesome. That was amazing. And there's some things there that I want to build upon. Like some things I want to animate like by hand. I'm trying to learn that. I'm trying to learn animating in Blender, 2D. But yeah, just cracking myself up with some of the things that I make, especially when I was doing it live. And just looking back at the VODs for that, I'm just like, this is a great time. This was a great time. Yeah. And then after I was finished, I was like, maybe I should take a week break. And then I just started making more stuff, because it was kind of in me. I was like, remember when I did something new every single day, and I have all these ideas still. Yeah, I gotta make more. So I gotta keep going. And then I did. Yeah. So it's kind of in me now, and I can't rest. And I'm planning content that's months of planning just in the future, where I'm like, I know I gotta do this, I'm gonna do that. Ooh, can't wait to do that one, that thing there. That's gonna be an exciting thing. We're gonna be in person. We can film. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah,
any sort of challenge to yourself like that is perfect. Like create something every day for a month. Like, I try to like do something creative every day. It doesn't have to like result in a product. It doesn't have to result in something you post, but just like do anything you could consider creative any day, and just make it part of your routine. No different than like the gym. Like if you skip the gym, not that I go to the gym. I was working out, but
do you have a does the van convert into a outdoor gym?
Outdoor. Yeah, it's got a treadmill. It's got
Opens up.
Optimus Prime. That's just a gym. It just is a Planet Fitness. It's just like a full gym. but yeah, just make it like a routine to do something creative. Like in the past, I've done a drawing every day. I've done a poem every day. I did that for like a year. Yeah, and nowadays it's just more so just work on something every day because like I have a lot of projects that take multiple days. So as long as I get something done on like an upload or something done on a bigger project, I'm happy, you know.
I think that's the way you have to go. Like even when it's like, all right, I've been working on something all week. Take a weekend break. Take some days off, and then then my brain just starts marinating on other things where I'm just like, all right, I gotta write that down. I gotta get that. If I go a week without doing something now, it hurts. Like it's like, oh gosh, I know I could and I have the ability to. I could do it, which means I should do it, because I kind of have the obligation to myself to see this thing through, whatever the idea is, because I have to know that I tried to do it, you know?
Yeah.
That was like, for that, the absinthe animation that I did, I worked on it for a month and a half. Like, I got a good 200 hours in a Blender. Wow.
I turned away.
You?
Was it still loud? It was just a cough.
It sounded like a sneeze that would blow the van away. Oh,
but yeah, people underestimate how much time absinthe could take, because it's like a shortcut to rotoscoping, but rotoscoping is like the most time-consuming thing in the world. So it's like, it's not a shortcut to animation, because it's still animation.
Yeah, definitely no.
Yeah, it's a shortcut to something that is incredibly time-consuming.
I did a rotoscope project for one of my film finals like a year ago, and I was dumbfounded by the amount of time it was taking me to do like 1 second of footage for something I wanted to do. I wasn't even tracing everything. I was like doing an effect, but I'm like, wow, this is a lot. And like I go between the frames, frame by frame, like it looks so jank. Now I gotta do it over again. So absinthe is definitely a shortcut for that. Yeah.
But still, a month and a half. That's a lot. But yours was longer. It was like 3-4 minutes. That's big for
it was almost 4 minutes long. Yeah. The good
My
thing
first,
about it
like
is
3 or 4 were like under a minute, and I think that was like the very first ones I did, because it wasn't until like, you know, the RPG one or maybe the Scooby-Doo one, which was kind of, I always forget about that one. But that was like when I was like, oh, I could do this for like a bigger idea if I'm just crazy and I just commit to it. And
crazy thing about mine is it started off as one school project, and then I sort of made my own class. So I did a bunch of research on things that can help artists, mostly AI stuff. And you know, I saw on the Secret Weapons Facebook page, the people who made absinthe, they're like, yeah, it's not AI, but you know, we can see why you think that. But I was like, no, for the purposes of my class, I'm saying it's AI, so that I can do it. So it turned from project from one class as a soundscape to then I added dialogue, and then it turned into this month and a half project that I tried to have finished for mid-semester. And then I got way too overzealous, and I was like, I'm going to have this pilot done 15 minutes within the next 2 months. All absinthed and ready to go. Which didn't happen. It didn't work out. No. I didn't even I filmed some stuff, but nope.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I did a 12-minute one or something, and that was insane. That was like
that was crazy. I looked at the timestamp and I was like, no way. Like you said, you were working on something that was like big. Like, I know you guys were waiting on an animation, I'm working on something big. I didn't expect that big. That's crazy.
Yeah, something like that will be pretty rare.
We'll see where that goes. I've always wanted to pitch something to Adult Swim. It starts with the story, but I'm like, well, wouldn't it be cool to see something like this on TV with, like, I don't know. Have you ever watched the Amazing World of Gumball?
Yeah.
I really like mixed media stuff like that.
I haven't, like, I've seen episodes. I haven't watched. I know the style you're referring to.
But in trying to think of, like, what really, like, to do, because I was like, ooh, I'm not good at this. This is, like, my first time sort of doing this. Shoot, okay, what could I do? Could I make segments? Would that even work? We could play a game. I'll crush you in Othello. That's a something. But then I was just like, okay, you know what? I'll do it, and then I can just make a long cut and see what I think after that. Just taking out all the tiny little bitty bits of a.
Yeah.
I also wanted to prank you. I wanted to prank you very, very badly. Because I was like, oh, what a good icebreaker. Like, I don't know if you can hear this. Joel, hey, man. I got this. I got a new mic, 4K camera. I spent like $400 trying to get a good setup just for the interview. I haven't really figured it out, but it should be good. It should be good.
Yeah, it sounds great, man.
Yeah, there was no refunds. It's been 30 days, so I'm really banking on this just to be good. So
yeah, man, it's great. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's good. It's fun. I almost did a snap camera. Oh yeah, let me turn it off. I almost did a snap camera thing where it's like pixelated. I was gonna do a whole thing, and then I don't know where my brain went, but I was like, I need Daybreak right now. I need to play this song, and then I didn't do it. I was like, hey. Also, sorry, I'm like talking in like circles. This is a very unprofessional interview. I'm
not about professionalism. It's okay. I like just casual.
I'm about to be living on. I think I might get an RA position. I have the interview in 2 days. So
where is this? Are you in a dorm right now?
No. So I live in Boston. I go to school in Boston. So my school is about 1.5 miles from where I live. So I'm a commuter, but I practically live on campus while my friends are there, and I sleep at home. I'm just there all the time.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Really wanted to get RA. There was a vacancy. I think I might. It's an interview. They've already gone through so much to get to the interview part. So I'm just hoping that it's all confirmation, verbal. They can see my face and hear me and make sure I'm not a crazy wacko who's faking it all. So yeah.
They checked the crazy wacko box.
They have a little Zoom plug-in that they wrote for corporate to make sure people aren't going bonkers while they're staying at home.
Listen, corporate, people are going bonkers right now, man.
Listen, guys, we need to write something up. People are going crazy, coming into their meetings naked, nude, their pants down, standing up. We can hear a bunch of things happening in the background. We need to build in a crazy wacko meter plug-in to make sure these people are tight. We can't give these virtual promotions to people who have lost their goo gagas, their marbles all over the place, or virtual working. We just can't do that.
Listen, buddy, you're qualified, but you've clearly lost your goo gagas over there.
What are you talking about, man? I just came out. I'm at work. I'm wearing my professional joggers right now. And I'm the CEO of my own room, so you can't tell me anything.
Okay, you're right. You get the position.
Babe, babe, use the Grubhub to get the tacos. We're celebrating tonight.
Is that how this guy celebrates with Grubhub tacos? Babe, crack out that Grubhub because we're getting tacos.
Babe, get the Grubhub Plus.
Now there's a guy who knows how to celebrate.
Hey, tacos and tequila. Yeah.
So as far as your film aspirations go, do you see yourself staying on YouTube, staying on it for a bit? Like, where do you see yourself wanting to be as a filmmaker?
Probably. This is turned into like a mutual, like, for conversation.
Conversation.
But I love this because I was digging for this so let alone the fact that it's just validating to have a verbal discourse with I don't know, what's the thing about like that in people. This is, I completely went off your question, but there's someone who, like, somewhere who has a deep dark room filled with candles with your pictures and picture frames all over the place with teddy bears and hearts.
Does somebody have that?
Worshipping you like a god. I mean, there's got to be at least 7. Like,
yeah, hopefully.
Oh shoot! God, sorry. Hold on.
Uh-oh. you blocked
almost burned my house down.
Yeah. I'm a little insulted you kept me in the tiny little closet, but
I have this whole shrine place right here, but that's yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had any crazy fans yet, so that's good.
Just gotta be. One day you're gonna accidentally dox yourself while going cross country, and someone's gonna be around that area. It's gonna be wrong place, wrong time. Stars are gonna align, and someone's gonna. Can I cameo in your video, man? Yo, Joe. Hey, can I? I'm homeless. Can I come with you? Got space in the? Is that a twin bed? Is that a twin bed in the van over there?
It's like a full, I think.
Oh yeah, you got room to cuddle, man. That's cool. Gotta share the warmth, save some of that solar energy.
Hey, if they're a sexy fan, then so be it.
Whoa, hey.
Whoa. So, going back to the question, filmmaking.
To the question that you asked me, out of curiosity, that was so nice to ask. Kind of spilled my heart out like a month ago on this stream, just being like, I know what I want to do. I know how I want to get there. I want to be independent. Yeah. So if the opportunity comes up to sort of make something under like the corporate structure of entertainment, then, I'm taking it. I'll take it. Beggars can't be choosers. But I definitely want to. It's been a dream for like half my life to establish myself as like an independent content creator, sort of trying to figure it out. Because I know I can do it. I know it's possible. So I just have to sort of, I got in this like weird cycle, which ended up getting me to do the 30-day track challenge, where I was like, I just have to work hard enough, have a plan, and I can get there. Because I know I can. It's possible. People have done it. I can do it. Other people say I can do it. They want me to do it. They want to see me be there and succeed. And it's just, if I don't do it, that I'm doing myself a disservice. It's on my bucket list. I have this like 10 item bucket list that I read
for real, actually,
my grandma. This 10 item bucket list where if I do everything on the bucket list, I can die happy. I can die without any complaints.
And one has become an established YouTube creator.
Not really. Well, I specifically didn't write down YouTube because you never know what's exactly going to take off.
Just independent.
But just independent content creator, be my own boss, be able to be in charge of my own working life.
Yeah. What I really love about YouTube, and you seem very familiar with like my philosophy, so you know I'm very anti-industry, and I think if I did stop at like 10K, 50K, I probably would have still been open to like, yeah, I'll do a show on Adult Swim, or yeah, I'll do a movie.
At this point, you don't need to.
Yeah, but if you get as big as I did, you're like, wait, I could just keep being fully independent and retain full control. Because just the idea of like having to get stuff approved, funded, released, distributed, it's just such an... And then you don't even own your art. Your art is owned by... that is very off-putting for me. But I would be lying if I said it's like... It's easy to say from my position. I'll always admit that. It's easy to be like anti-industry, anti-everything once you're like comfortably independent and creating. But I also don't think being comfortably independent is that out of reach nowadays. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of work, but it's like possible, And what I love about YouTube is you're everything, you're not... In the film industry, it's very rare you're a writer, director, cinematographer, actor, and editor. But on YouTube, you're not even thinking about those roles. It's just like, of course I'm filming it, I'm making something, or of course I edit it, I filmed it, or of course, there's not this like breakdown to nauseum that like the industry like makes you do. It's like, oh, that guy is the lighting guy, he's the gaffer, he's the only one who touches the lights, don't go near the lights, and he's gonna take 6 hours to do it, even though the actor showed up 5 hours ago, and they're still waiting, and you just waste everyone's time. And it's just like YouTube provides this new space where it's almost like, Tommy Wiseau, great example, horrible example, but Tommy Wiseau
is a perfect example.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau is like, the writer, director, producer. He had complete control in that sphere. It's very rare you can do that without it being frowned upon as like an ego move, And obviously Tommy Wiseau to some extent was an ego move, but there's very rarely a director, writer, performer that
the only
can
one I can think
that.
of is Robert Rodriguez with all of his films.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spy Kids.
I know he does. I watched Spy Kids recently, and I was like, I saw he edited it, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude! Like, that excites me just because I'm like distilling filmmaking down to all these little parts. I'm like, I'm somebody who's just been doing everything forever, and I'm just like, what would just directing even look like? Like, how hands off would I be if I was just directing? Handed the footage off to an editor, and like we met like once a week to look at an edit, and I would just like feel so disconnected from the project in a way that like if you like outlined a painting and handed it off to a color person, it's like, you're gonna paint the colors in on this painting, and then you get it back and you're like, well, you did a good job, but fix this. And I'm just like, I don't like that delegating. I don't like that telling, fix this, do this. I'm like, if you could say it, you should be able to do it. And I think YouTube creates this sphere where it's like, you can do it because you are practicing all these skills.
Yeah. That signed, sealed, delivered. That's really how I feel. If anything, it's like, all right, maybe I'll have a small group. It's weird to tell you, but I have this weird like vision of the future where I have this group called like the Masterminds, and we're all independent, but we all come together, and sometimes we make things that, maybe individually we're good at this one thing, and so we come. I find that like ideas like that really intriguing, just like small groups who work really hard at whatever they want to make, and no one can tell them no. That's why things like Patreon has got to be so freeing, you know?
Yeah.
Like the liberation, the van. The van.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, that is something I would love to have. To be crowdfunded by the people who love what I make so much. This figurative people, this figurative future people who love what I make so much that they're like, take this one. Why don't you go get yourself something nice?
It's pretty insane that like that system works, you know, because I feel like it's almost like changing the process, or because we're so used to being like consumers of art, where we have to pay to watch a movie and then we decide if we like it. But YouTube is this super it's so exciting because you could like find something, watch it for free, and then decide to support it because you liked it. And it's like relying on like almost an honor system of like, I'm really loving this stuff, maybe I should support it. But I don't hold anyone to that. I'm not saying people who like my stuff have to support it. I love that it's free. But
definitely, yeah.
I do think like moving forward, we should like embrace these spheres, whether it be YouTube or not, where art is free to watch and optional to support, but encouraged to support. You know, like I think where the encouragement is like there, and there's a lot of great people. Like I Exhibit A, like I have like 2,000 Patreons, which is insane. But I think there is like this thing where when art's not sold to us, there's such less of a consumer product relationship. You're not like, you know, that's why we're so critical of, you know, that's why CinemaSins existed, because it's like it's like all these like nitpicks and things. It's like reviewing, like, you know, if you bought a vacuum and the handle was broken, you're gonna be you're gonna be like, well, this is uncomfortable, and you break down a product, because that's what movies have been made to be. They're products we buy and review based on their utility to us emotionally, rather than I guess the vacuum analogy is kind of bad because it doesn't work. If somebody handed you a free vacuum, you wouldn't be like, this vacuum sucks. You know, you want to you might be like, I don't need this.
Maybe a good one is maybe street performers, and they're doing something because they love it. You don't know what else is up with their life, what has gotten them to perform on the street, but the hat's there. The hat's there, and they're trying their best. Yeah.
Street performing, oh man, I feel so bad. I lived in New York for 6 years, New York City, and just everyone ignores, like, and I'm just like, here's this person trying to do something to make your day a little livelier, and like, it's not like, I think there's too many people have been wronged by them, because there are ones that get kind of like snippy if you don't like give them money, like if you watch and then they walk around with a hat or something in there. But I think that's a good analogy. It's kind of like, you don't have to support it, but you can engage with it, and you can the one I've used in the past is like buying a meal at a restaurant versus like a friend cooking a meal for you. You know, like at a restaurant, you'd be justified being like, this tastes like shit. I paid $20, you know. but like if your friend cooks you a meal, or like your friend's parents, or just anyone, like somebody who's like put their love into it, and they're like, here, you wouldn't still be like, this tastes like shit, man, you know. And I'm not saying to like grit your teeth and pretend to enjoy something you don't. I'm just saying that there is this mentality online where people approach free art the same way. You know, you see the comment all the time, like, I can't believe I just wasted my time watching this. Or, you know, they're like, I want my 5 minutes back or something. It's like,
oh my God.
No, you don't get to do that because you made the choice. That's your time you wasted. I didn't waste your time, you know. And I just think there's a progressing that needs to happen in our relationship to free art, where we have to distance how we have nitpicked and criticized art in the past.
I think I connected so violently wouldn't be the best word to use here. I connected very closely with, I guess, your story and what you make, how you make it, and then just sort of the nail in the coffin was after watching Pretend That You Love Me, which was like wow, I didn't know when it was really, when it wasn't, and that was it. That was the point. You got me. Yep.
Best review ever.
I watched that with my friends, and we were just like, wow. Actually, no. I watched Pretend You Love Me first, and then with my friends, we watched together I'm gonna become famous, and I was like, I think like every 5-10 minutes I was like, that me, that me right there. Hey, that's how I feel. That's when I do that thing, and wow.
Yeah.
That. After that, you got me Patreon. That you are the first person I became a patron of, and then that sort of built out, because there are people who make crazy good stuff that I was just like, I feel this, I connect to this because it's my vibe, it's my utter cup of tea. I was like, one example, Nakey Jakey, watched his stuff since like 2018. You know of him?
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. And every year, my Spotify, it's like, he has 5 songs. What are my top 10 songs? 5 of them, Jakey.
His album's been in the works forever. I feel like that one single came out 2 years ago.
I am waiting very, very patiently, and am very happy that he's in a good place. But I've never been a patron. And right after I became your patron, I think like a month later, I was like, let me check on Jakey. He was like, yeah, pause the Patreon. I was like, but once he opens it back up again, I just want to see what he's up to. Would also be nice to have MP3s of all of the songs and not feel bad. So yeah, I think it's sort of opened up this like philosophy, and I understand it on a whole nother level now.
I think that's something that amazes me, because I think Jakey, he does really well on Patreon for someone who like uploads once every couple of months. I think he has it set to monthly. It's not per video, so it really just goes to show the sort of bond and trust in creators people have online that you would never give to Scorsese. You would never be like, firstly, he doesn't need it, and there is that like being YouTube famous doesn't make you rich the same way being Hollywood famous does. Unless you're PewDiePie or Mr. Beast or somebody who really turns it into an industry for yourself. But you wouldn't like donate monthly to Martin Scorsese because he has another movie coming in 2 years. It's a kind of stupid analogy because you have to pay to watch a Scorsese movie, but so you are donating in a way, or giving your money in a way. But there is a trust online and like a bond people have online, because people are encouraged to be authentic. And people get called out when they're inauthentic online. I feel like, being like, having like an artifice is like intrinsic to like Hollywood. Hollywood is like, we're always at a distance. We're never gonna be Brad Pitt's like friend. We're never gonna be, we're never gonna, as much as we'd like to. But there's a distance there that's just like, these people are above us. They're like, they don't know we're watching. They don't know we're sitting in a theater right now watching their movie. Even if we leave a review on, I don't know, Metacritic, they're not gonna see it.
There's some great actors out there who are very, very personal, but it's simply by the scale of things and just their placement in the field. It's you just can't.
I have so many like less followers than like celebrities, and I can't keep up, so I get that. But I think that the feeling still stands, even if like because I get like 1,000 DMs and I can't respond to all of them. You know, I respond to all my Patreon messages, which is like, you know, once a month or something. I sit down, just pound out like a whole day going through like 60 messages, and but like I have 1,000 Instagram DMs and everything, and I think most people have that understanding. They're like, at a certain, like when I was trying to grow, I've shot some DMs to you know, big creators, sometimes just like introducing myself, like, hey, what's up, sometimes trying to get them to watch one of my things, like, hey, check out my stuff, I'm making weekly stuff, I hope you like it. Never heard anything back. But in my head, I was never like, damn them, they should check, you know. Because I understood I was probably in a sea of thousands of people trying to get a hold of them, you know. It's a little awkward now. I've had DMs with some of them since blowing up, and then just sitting at the top is like me like plugging something.
Hey, my name is 2018. Yeah. Hey, I'm Joel Haver.
Yeah. Exactly. But But with all that said, there is still this personal feeling that they feel like more of a person. You know, YouTube, people feel like themselves no matter what they're creating. There's very, like, just the fact that PewDiePie is the biggest channel that's not like a corporation. I think like T-Series is above him now. But just the fact that PewDiePie...
Huge.
Yeah, Coco Melon.
Wow.
But just the fact that PewDiePie... who all he does is just sit in front of a computer and like just be himself, is somebody who warrants millions of views every day. It's just like indicative of the difference, because nothing at the top level of Hollywood of success is that. Everything at the top level of success in Hollywood is this expensive, overblown thing that you know, it's just Avengers, Disney, Star Wars.
Yeah. It's like, time to change that, Joel.
It's time to make
change your feature-length film that goes to theaters.
Yeah. I'm so disinterested, and I'm proud of myself for that, because there was, like, you know, a thought in my head, like, if I had to, would I, like, abandon my convictions? Yeah. And I'm glad I've been put in a position where I don't have to. Yeah, like, because at this point, I could safely say I could have spun this into a big budget movie. You know, I have enough attention and enough proof that I could have been like, hey, look at me, freaking whoever. And like, I have movies to prove that I like have done nothing, like have done big things with no money. So. And I just don't have the interest. It's just too much headache when I'm already creating what I love for no money. Exactly. You know? Yeah.
If I had the opportunity to do something like that, I had some conversations with one of my cousins. I have ideas where I'm like, but not this one. This one's my baby, and I have to have full control over this one. Yeah. This is my child. But by the time I first gave on Patreon, you had supplied me with 2 movies at that point and hours of laughter, and it was like I felt this like magnetism to do it simply because of that, because like, oh, you pay this much to see a movie, you get disappointed or whatever. It's like, you're making all this for free, you know. It's anyone can discover it and watch it and absorb the quality of content that you've made, and it's a beautiful thing. So I was like, you got it.
Well, thank you so much for the support. I think I've already said it in the messages, but really thank you so much for that. You know, and anything is like, just means the world. Is the gesture itself is so generous, you know, because it's just not what we're used to. You know, we're not used to being like being given the option to support something after the fact, you know, something like, because usually it's like, okay, our money to this thing is already gone, so we don't have this thought in our head, you know. But there's a great, like, I'm not sure how much you've explored beyond my stuff, but there's a big community of like no budget filmmakers on YouTube making like feature length stuff. There's a lot of like. And I try to watch a lot of it, and I told people to send me their stuff, and I still try to get around to it. I tell everyone, I think I say 45 minutes and up, send me a feature-length film and I'll watch it. And I have a long list I got to get around to. But I'm like, these people are making real, like, great films, you know? Like, and they're not films as we have understood them before. They're not films about, like, being perfectly polished, you know, technical feats. They're not about, like, having the best lighting or the best... It's just about capturing something about yourself with what you have, you know? And a lot of people are doing that. And YouTube, to me, is filmmaking regardless of if it's feature length. You know, I think, like, vlog, you know, confessional stuff is, like, really powerful. You know, there's these videos of people who feel like they have no friends. I'm not sure if you've been recommended those, but just people talking for, like, you know, 20 minutes about their life and how they wound up with no friends. I'm like, this is more affecting than most anything I've seen in a theater. And I'm just like, what does it matter if it's not, like, on a dolly and, like, sharply edited? Like, is the emotion not what we're aiming for with filmmaking, whether that be excitement or comedy or drama, or, you know, if you can achieve such a level of emotion yourself on a webcam, it's like filmmaking has changed, you know, and I love that.
I have some ideas. I have some stuff that's been recorded. I'm like, this is a bit long. This is do I serialize this? Like, what's going on? And then I'm like, all right, I should just do it for what it feels right to do, you know?
Yeah.
I guess that's always the right thing.
I've had friends, like especially friends from film school, fall into that trap where they have something shot for, like, going on a year or two now, some of them, and they just never do anything with it because they are always questioning themselves. And I think the best thing you could do if you're in that situation is finish it as is and put it out, because the next thing you'll have more confidence for. You know, you'll by releasing it, you'll figure out what works and what doesn't work, and then you could go into the next thing, editing the next thing with a little more confidence, you know.
This sort of like brings me into, I'm talking about myself more than I thought I would.
That's okay. You're part of this conversation.
Yeah, I guess I am. It's you and I. I sort of had this epiphany. We've been in this thing for just so long, and Discord became such a great mode of communication. My friend Corey and I were trying to find ways of spicing it up, and we found the Snap camera thing with the filters.
That's what did the monkey thing, right?
Yeah. The longest time we were just going off for like 2-3 hours at night, just going crazy, having fun. And every time we'd be like, we should have recorded this, man. That was such missed opportunity. It was fun, but we did not record it. So one day we just recorded like for 2 hours again, and I have all this content. So I've been editing it gradually and releasing some of the stuff. Some of the filters like really change the genre. Like, it always has the sort of same charm because it's all like, we're both sitting here, we both have the same clothes on as before, you know, we're looking in the same direction, but the narrative sort of changes. And I realized, like, you can tell a story with really anything, and this is just another vehicle. It brought me back to like you starting to work with absinthe. I'm like, it's just another vehicle to tell a story. A bunch of other things. People I watch the Minute Hour. It's just it's all mostly all sound. You know the Minute Hour?
Yeah, I love him.
I freaking love him. I keep on trying to get onto the Friday call streams. They're all these different things. Well, you know, the pilot things kind of stems from both you and him. I have a lot in my notes on like trying to take and remix from other places in terms of like trying to find something that works for me. And the Snap thing was like, well, this is fresh. This feels good.
I got the dramatic sun coming in.
Oh yeah, is that the sunset?
Not quite the sunset. It's still up there.
It's the summer's 7.
If I ever look behind me, it's because I'm in a parking lot and people are driving by.
Are you? I heard a car.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah, it's just Just some nice Walmart traffic.
Are you in a Walmart park?
Yeah, it's one of the Walmart parking lots are like one of the go-to places for like people in vans because it's just like you're allowed to be there.
I've always wanted to. Well, it started off as an idea, like a plan amongst two people, me and my ex-girlfriend. And now it's just me because she's my ex-girlfriend. And
so it goes. So life goes.
It's kind of the way things work. Well, now I gotta rephrase it because now it's just me. I want to travel the country in an RV and sort of take in what other places of the country have to offer. I haven't really been to the Midwest at all. I've never been to anywhere in the Midwest. It's really all been across the East Coast and a little bit to Canada. So yeah, I've only done this. I've only done this in traveling. Even if it's lower south, Jamaica, it's just up or down. I've never gone.
I'm pretty well the same situation, minus Jamaica. I've been furthest west I've been is my uncle's in Oklahoma, but like, I haven't been California. I want to go to where is it, Utah, that has those crazy deserts, and I want to see that. I want to see. Right now, the hard thing is juggling. Like, I have a lot of plans. I have places to be, and I'm like, I need to just give myself some weeks where I don't have, like, friends I'm staying with or stuff, so I could actually live in a van, because so far I've been pretty unadventurous in some ways. I've been pretty well just staying with friends. And,
I got a van, and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And I'm staying with you.
Well, I did leave, but yeah, no, I did a long stay in New York because I have a lot of friends there. Oh, this woman just hit the curb. And I have it was actually yesterday. I was just parked randomly in Pennsylvania, so that's where I am right now. I'm trying to get I got a new animation. I don't know if this will be out before the animation, but I've been working on it slowly in the background.
Probably not.
That will hopefully be the next thing out on the channel.
I've had you for a long time. I've had you for almost the 2 hours. It's at 1:45.
All right, so you want to do any closing thoughts here?
I gotta thank you for all the interactions so far. It's really been helpful and eye-opening, and just to share tiny little nuggets of wisdom just between you, like you to me and you to everyone. It's really inspiring.
I want to do what I can.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's really my biggest goal. I want to like awaken something in the people who might be sleeping on something, like if that makes sense, because I think we're all creative. I think everyone has that creative itch, and just a lot of people have been discouraged. And I want to do what I can. And it's always like, horrible comparison just came to my mind, the Schindler's List ending where he's like, this pen could have been one more person. I'm not sure if you've seen that. The horrible comparison. But there is this feeling like, I wish I could talk to more people. I have like 1,000 amazing messages, and I wish I could just give like an encouraging message to each one of them. Yeah, I do what I can to like reach people. I try my best, and that's really the ultimate goal of my channel. I want to reach people.
Yeah. I feel like when I get to like a point. You said closing.
Yeah.
That is good, Joel. Thank you, Joel. You're awesome. Thanks for being here.
If it just cuts to that, it's gonna look like I paid you to say it. Thank you, Joel. You're awesome.
I'm gonna have a weird jump cut where I go, "Hey, Joel,"
and then you'll just Photoshop me to look really angry, like it's like a frozen webcam. something bad happened. It's just you put like some angry filter on me.
Should have ended 15 minutes ago. Sorry, I kept you this long, Joel. I didn't mean it.
You didn't have to yell at me though. It's just a shame the recording cut out right when you were yelling at me. So I don't.
Have fun. Have fun in Pennsylvania, man.
Don't be sad.
Oh gosh. But yeah, keep in relative touch. Keep in relative.
I'm subscribed. I think I even have the bell turned on. I just have a lot of like YouTube notifications, so I'll miss stuff. So I'll make sure to.
Highly understandable. Yeah.
I'll make sure to check out the thing you were talking about, the pilot you have coming. And it's really funny thing. It's really just the intro that I have up there, but it's been airing on public access TV for 2 months. Because it's just in the cycle.
Yeah, my beat research teacher at MassArt has a little block in Cambridge, and now it's being reshown in Boston. So I got my stuff on TV.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I'm gonna start working on it. We're gonna have the whole green room at my school to do whatever we want to do. It's gonna be great. But yeah, it's whatever time that you have. But I will keep in touch with you if I have any burning, boiling.
Please do
hit you up. But yeah,
some of those boiling hot questions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it was great talking.
The pleasure is entirely mine. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah.
Well, until next time, I hope you have a nice day. I'm going to hit stop on this recording if you think we're done. Or do we want this final goodbye?
Yeah, keep it all. Keep everything to the last. All right.
To the last drop. Oh, you froze there.
Froze out.
Right at the end, we freeze.
Perfect.
All right. All right.
Bye.
All right, have a nice day. Bye-bye.
It couldn't have ended better. Oy.